Add 1 to a counter and return it after it's done looping. Yes, Yogi, we need to add 1 to a counter. So essentially, we need, if not done, then until we are not done, that is there. And that essentially would have its own if, right? And then internally, we need to count, but we need to count the number of people that have a balance larger than this thing. So can we say something like if what? Something, something. Then uh, set count rich equals to count rich plus 1, and if this would be a nested if condition, right? So here I need to check if not, remember cur is the individual balances that we have. So can we say not, but instead can we say if cur is greater than average balance? Right? Exactly. Then do this. Right? So do you guys agree that this would be the code that gets me the number of people that have a balance larger than the average balance? Yes or no? Let me copy over this entire code to the system. And yes, Yogi, you're correct. If greater than average balance, right, Yogi? If my current balance is yes. Right? So if I run this, I should get an error. Wow. Undeclared variable cur. Once I close it, I need to redeclare it. I think I need to redeclare it. No, I don't need to redeclare it. What's going on? Hmm, give me a quick sec. Open has to be clearly. Oh my bad. This should be val. The cur is not the cursor, the val is the variable. Mm. Yep. There you go. Let me copy this thing again. I made a slight mistake earlier. It should not have been if cur greater than average balance, Yogi. It should not be cur greater than average balance. It should be bal greater than average balance, right? because cur is the iterator, val is the actual balance. Okay, so we get 21. So do you guys agree that this would be a function without using iterators or without using aggregate operations to get us the number of rich people, right? Do you guys understand this function? And it's a highly inefficient way of writing this function. As you saw, we could have just written the entire thing in a single query, right? We could have written the entire thing in a single query, and that would have gotten us 21 either way. That would have gotten us 21 either way. But we just wrote a function like this. Any questions? Yes, you have a very good question. Yes, cursors are more expensive than aggregates because aggregates have uh, internally defined functions so that they are more efficient compared to writing your own loops. SQL really does not like you using loops, but they are there because they want to be like a complete proper language. So that is why they are there. But essentially, if we are using any query that has aggregate functions involved, we should always use aggregate functions. But if there are certain things that we cannot have aggregate functions for, then we would use these cursors. Well, Yoga, they're not more precise. I mean, they're more fast in a sense. Like aggregate functions are more fast. So does anybody have any questions about this particular function that we just wrote? Has everyone tried it on their machine? Tell me yes or no. Like copy it and try it on your machine.
Professor, I have error at when I try to create another cursor.
Mm-hmm.
So it shows an error near the end. But when I remove the cursor that I created, then the error is gone.
Okay, remember one thing,
Mm-hmm.
since in SQL, we need to declare all our variables up top. We cannot declare our variables in the middle somewhere. It's like C programming, right? We need all our variables to be up top. So if you want to create another cursor that is different from this cursor, it has to be declared up top.
Okay. But we are using the same cursor, right? But when I open and close, it's showing an error. Let
Let's do one
me.
thing. Give me a second. Can you share your screen maybe if I allow you to? Um, share your screen. Yes.
Actually, I am working on my laptop and I am listening to the lecture through my phone.
Okay. Um, well, as you know, SQL gives you weird errors, right? So on that note, could you copy and paste? Oh no, you can't. Could you double check your code maybe with this thing? So are you creating a new cursor here or are you like opening the cursor just like this?
I am opening the cursor. Okay, so after, okay, I have given the set done after the open. So
No. Make sure that set done is set to 0 and then you open the cursor because
okay,
open cursor needs to be right next to the repeat statement.
okay, okay, got it.
Yep, welcome to SQL. Anybody else has any issues with cursors or the pointless program that we just wrote? Right? I mean, so Taha, as we wrote it like this, but you can see the power of cursors, right? Every time we need to compute something as part of all the rows, that is where cursors come real handy. Yeah, for this one, obviously, no point, right? like opening a cursor, repeat all of those things, but essentially, yes. Okay, okay. So if that made some sense, let's quickly talk about connecting your database to something. So let's create a new project. So for this class, I am going to talk about connecting your database through Python. I think that is the next thing on our agenda today. Yep. So let's talk about, so this was how we can write. So we talked about how we write functions and how we write loops in our SQL language. So these were like your procedural SQL languages, right? So now let's look at how we can make an application connect to our database, right? Okay. Okay, Malia. That's fine. It's going to be recorded and I think we can talk next class as well. Okay, since we are out of time and since many of you have to go to work, let's wrap this up. But okay, so before next class, could you give me, could you guys, so I'm going to stop with today. Could you guys, and let me stop recording as well.